Okay, good morning. I am Lieutenant Derek Alfred, Sheriff's Homicide Bureau. We're here today to announce the issuance of a $20,000 reward, and we're here to ask for the public help regarding the 2020 murder of 31-year-old Lintrell Hicks. With me today is Lintrell's mother, Paula Stringer, his two youngest sisters, and his girlfriend, Keila. Say it one more time? Keila. I apologize. His girlfriend, Keila. So I would first like to start off by thanking the Board of Supervisors for offering the $20,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the two men that murdered Lintrell Hicks. So shortly before noon on November 7th, 2020, deputies from the Century Sheriff's Station responded to a residence in the Florence Firestone area of Los Angeles. Upon arriving, they located victim Hicks suffering from a single stab wound to his abdomen. At the time of the contact, victim Hicks was unable to give any information that would assist them in identifying and or locating the suspects, or even the location where the stabbing had occurred. So investigators were able to learn that Lintrell had been out in the morning, and when he returned to his home, he yelled to his mother to call 911 because he had been stabbed. Ms. Stringer called 911, and paramedics performed first aid and life-saving measures and transported him to St. Francis Medical Center for further treatment. Despite their advanced life-saving measures, victim Hicks sadly succumbed to his injuries a couple days later. Investigators were able to determine that Lintrell had been walking on Compton Avenue near 68th Street in the Firestone area of Los Angeles. Lintrell became involved in an argument with two Hispanic males, and then after the verbal altercation, the Hispanic men entered a black Toyota Prius and sped away. Video surveillance footage was located that captures the initial argument. And the video that we're going to release to you will show three Hispanic males walking southbound on the west sidewalk of Compton Avenue. One of the males appears to be in his 30s. He's heavy set. He's wearing a black shirt with a very large white logo on the front of it. He's also wearing khaki pants. One of the males, the other male, appears to be about 18 years old. He's wearing all black clothing. With the two men is a young boy who appears to be between 8 and 10 years old. He's with them, and he'll be in the video too, but we're going to do our best to pixelate out his face. So victim Hicks is depicted in the video as well. He is wearing a white t-shirt, dark colored pants, and a ball cap. The still photos here today are from the video recovered. Okay, so Lintrell walked northbound on the west sidewalk of Compton Avenue. The males and the victim crossed paths on the northwest corner of 68th Street in Compton. It appears there were words exchanged, but no physical altercation at that time. The victim, he continued northbound on Compton, possibly entering a business very nearby there. The group of Hispanic males continued walking southbound on the west sidewalk of Compton Avenue and out of view. The initial contact took about 30 seconds. Approximately 2 minutes later, investigators, while viewing the video, observed the victim enter the camera frame on the west sidewalk of Compton Avenue near the businesses in the 6700 block of Compton. He was walking. He looked southbound, but immediately turned around and started walking northbound, when suddenly you'll see in the video that a dark-colored Prius drove northbound on Compton Avenue at a high rate of speed in the southbound lanes into oncoming traffic. The Prius stopped in the number 2 southbound lane parallel to Lintrell. A male Hispanic wearing the same black t-shirt with the large white logo and the khaki pants as well exits the car. A second male wearing all black, the other suspect depicted, gets out of the passenger side. A physical fight ensues, And the video depicts both men appearing to attack Lintrell. And at some point you see a what looks like a stabbing motion from the man in the white logoed black shirt. At that point, Lintrell, you can kind of see in the video, it looks like he looks down, realizing he's been stabbed. The two men retreat back to the car. Lintrell, he retreats northbound away from them. The car makes a hasty U-turn in the middle of the intersection and then speeds away westbound on 68th Street. So with that, Lintrell ends up going home to his mother, where he informs her that he'd been stabbed, and she calls 911, and that's when fire and deputy personnel arrive. So that's where we're at right now. We're looking for the public's help. If they recognize anybody they see in the video, the vehicle, it's a distinct black Toyota Prius. It's got a white sticker on the rear. We'll release extra pictures of that. So we're asking if anybody sees it to please call Sheriff's Homicide or report it anonymously through Crime Stoppers. With that, it'll conclude my presentation. I'll take questions after I allow the family to speak. I would like to introduce to you Lintrell's mother, Miss Paula Stringer. She'd like to say a few words about her son.
Good morning. I'm Lintrell's mother, Paula Stringer, and I just need you guys to turn yourselves in, or whoever knows or seen anything, please come forward. I'm not angry. I'm more hurt than anything. The anger has passed. My son was a loving father, a devoted brother, a loving son, and he did not deserve this. Whatever you guys was going through out there, please come forward and let us know that Lintrell death won't go in vain. Thank you. Yeah.
We'll set these guys up for you. This is some pictures of him and his son, his
daughter.
So did you want to say a few words first?
Yeah. So I'm Kiala. I am his girlfriend and the mother of his child. I please ask that you guys, the community, please help bring these people to justice, because he didn't deserve this. He was a college grad. He was Tuskegee football player, great all-around student. He loved his daughter more than anything in the world, and as you can see in his pictures, that's all that you see. We just want justice. You know, I'm like she said, we're not mad. All the anger has passed, but I just want to make sure I get justice for my daughter, who is scared to go outside, who doesn't know who did anything, and she just wants to make sure the person is caught so that they don't hurt her. So please, the community, please reach out. If you guys know anything, anyone, please give the detectives a call. Any tips, anything will help. Thank you.
Do you guys have any questions for me?
What prompted the confrontation between the suspects and Lintrell, or is that still trying to figure it out?
That we don't know at this time. We believe that the suspects had exited maybe a barber shop or something right there near that corner. They were both carrying their hats as if they had just had their hair cut. We're trying to get to the bottom of that. So words were clearly exchanged there, and you'll see in the video that it kind of goes both ways, but it appeared that everybody had just gone on with their day when out of nowhere that Prius comes flying back into the scene there and clearly aggresses Lintrell.
Were you able to track that car to any sort of community that gives you any idea of where the suspect might live?
No. See, the video is really good, but we weren't able to get a license plate or anything off of it.
So, I just want to make sure I'm hearing this. So they crossed paths outside the barber shop?
They cross paths, they kind of right on the corner. So as they're waiting to cross the street, Lintrell is crossing the street, and they walk right into each other's. One's going north, the others are going south, and they basically kind of separate to allow to walk through. Words are exchanged at that point, and it takes a few seconds, and then they each group goes their own way. So what we know is a witness at the scene witnesses the altercation that occurs essentially in the street on the corner, the verbal altercation, watches as the two Hispanic male get into a black Prius, and then that same black Prius drives in within about 2 minutes, according to the timestamp on the video, which is off, but you can tell 2 minutes had passed. And then they just come swooping in. We don't know if they were lying in wait to see him come out of whatever business he was in and start walking, but they clearly, you'll see, come in fast on the wrong side of the road against oncoming traffic and jump out of their car and commit this murder right in the middle of the street.
Any indication that they were acquaintances or knew each other?
That we don't know.
And is he stabbed?
One time. It looked like it may have been the 2-on-1 fight. It appears Lantrell's trying to defend himself from these two attackers. At some point, one of them produces a knife and stabs him once in the abdomen.
This, to be clear, this is roughly 2 minutes after the unusual.
2 minutes after the first encounter.
And you said that they
Correct.
came,
2 minutes? Yes.
they had come out of a local business or here to be barbershop?
That's what we believe. 31 years old. And there's some more pictures here that the family provided if you guys would like to take those when we're done here. Any other questions? And
Was the weapon recovered?
no, the weapon was not recovered.
I just want to ask a question about time. You know, 2020, significant time has passed. These two suspects are 2 years older. Does that complicate?
Well, it complicates things. It's been 2 years. We've exhausted all of our leads. So we're hoping that somebody will have recognized them, a member of the community, somebody who may have worked on that car and knows these two guys. They're pretty distinctive looking, that know that they have a nephew or a son around that age would just give us a phone call and say, that might be this person. That gives us somewhere to start. So yeah, it will complicate things. Any other questions? Thank you.
Believe they have been gang members?
We don't know at this point. We don't know. Thank you all for coming today. Yes, sir.
Get Kiala's quick spelling of your first and last name?
Oh.
Oh, yes, it's KEI.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. We good? Thank you, everybody.